Do the chanting and all that, or what's the usual?
Jairaj, the Madhava is done. You can do
Okay.
invocation.
Okay. Sounds good. Om Bhajnana Timarandasya Gananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manojachana Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Tanmayam Darati Swapatandritam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Parakamalam Shri Yutam Vaishnavam. Hmm. It's been a minute. Sad, Shivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Param Sahagana Lavita Shri Vishakam Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gourangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatribhishcha Kripa Sindhubhyeva cha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrindana Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Good morning, everybody. Today we're going to be reading from 10th Canto, chapter 45, verses 23 through 25. Okay. I'm guessing that call and response might be a little tough when we're online, so I'm just gonna.
Yeah, no response.
Okay. Yata yuyam ratam tata vayam cha snehadukitam jatin vodrashtam eshyamo vidyaya suhridam sukam yata yuyam vrajam tata divayam cha snehadukitam jatin vodrashtam eshyamo vidyaya suhridam sukam Yata yuyam vrajam tata vayam cha sneha dukitam jatin vodrashtam eshyamo vidyaya surhridam sukam. Just going to read the translation. Now you should all return to Vraj, dear father. We shall come to see you, our dear relative who suffer, our dear relatives who suffer in separation from us. As soon as we have given some happiness to your well-wishing friends. Purport. The Lord here indicates his desire to satisfy his devotees in Mathura. Vasudev, Devaki, and other members of the Yadu dynasty, who for so long had been separated from him during his stay in Vrindavan. I'll read the next verse. Translation. Thus consoling Nanda Maharaj and other men of Vraj, the infallible Supreme Lord respectfully honored them with gifts of clothing, jewelry, household utensils, and so on. Nanda Maharaj, this is verse 25, Nanda Maharaj was overwhelmed with affection upon hearing Krishna's words, and his eyes brimmed with tears as he embraced the two lords. Then he went back to Vraj with the cowherd men. Purport. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti has written an extensive purport to this verse, elaborately analyzing this portion of Lord Krishna's pastimes. Just as a man places his valuable gold within fire to reveal its purity, the Lord placed his most beloved devotees the residents of Vrindavan in the fire of separation from him in order to manifest their supreme love. This is the essence of Acharya Vishwanath's comments. Okay, so this chapter is a very interesting chapter. There's a few points that come up to me as striking. The Supreme Personality of Godhead himself, when he comes down to this planet, accepts a spiritual master, which means he serves a spiritual master, just like he encourages all of us to do. It's not that he's exempt. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna gives us instructions to serve the spiritual master with love and devotion. And by doing so, that knowledge is imparted unto us. And he also says that Krishna even follows his own duty. Otherwise, no one else would, and it would ruin the world. So, very interesting. The Supreme Person from which everything emanates, everything's created, maintained, and destroyed. Everything happens because of this person's desire. All the universes are being held up by him, and we can't even fathom the omniscience of the Supreme Person, and the Supreme Person humbly serves his spiritual master. In this chapter, we learned about how once Krishna and his brother mastered all the 64 arts, they completed their education, they came to their spiritual master humbly and asked if there's anything else they could do for him. And he requested them to retrieve his long lost son. So Krishna and Balaram said, no problem. They've done so much menial service for him at this point. They carried the wood. They've even come into difficulty doing so. And they learned from the spiritual master like they didn't know anything. And now he asked them for this task, which is an impossible task for any human, actually. Humans can gather wood and whatnot, but and to a certain extent, master the 64 arts, maybe not to the extent that they did, but this task is not one that generally a human could go on. So they travel to find his son, and they go into the ocean and find this demon. The conch shell demon, I forget his name, Pankajaya, right? And kill him, and Krishna actually takes the conch shell as his own conch shell, which is everything Krishna does. There's many purposes served. So he has now his famous conch shell, and discovers that his son's still not there. So they go to Yamaraj, and Yamaraj worships them. Imagine being Yamaraj and the Supreme Person finally comes to see you doing your service, and they ask for his son, and Yamaraj worships them first and then delivers his son, and they bring him back to their spiritual master, and the spiritual master is very pleased. And just imagine what kind of person that spiritual master was, being able to serve as the Supreme Personality of Godhead's very own spiritual master. So they graduated. They graduated from Gurukul, which is essential in the Vedic system. Unlike nowadays, where we go to, a very cut, copy, paste in general, public school system at least. We start when we're in kindergarten and go through all the grades to 12th grade, and then we graduate, and then we go to college, and we basically have learned how to be employees, which is and to learn trade, maybe not trades, but they should, I think. People should learn how to do more trades, in my opinion. But just basically learn how to go to college and be good at passing classes at college. And there's some other fun things along the way, like the arts. At least that's what I liked when I was in college, or high school and college. But basically, it's this very cut, copy, paste system to help you become an employee, and then some people become entrepreneurs. But basically, it's become employee and has nothing to do with spiritual realization. Basically, that's just left for your own personal life, unless you go to a Christian private school or something. That's funny. They have they have cut so many art programs. Yeah, I mean, I would be, if I don't know, I would be probably, I probably wouldn't have graduated high school if it wasn't for, I had like our art studio class, and that was like, it was the most chill class ever, and I just made art the whole time. Talked to my friends, but we did a lot of great things and learned a lot of cool things through it. And if I wasn't in a rock band, like I was in like all kinds of bands when I was in high school, I probably would never have wanted to go to school either. So I met all my friends at the school. So anyway, Gurukul is much different. Gurukul is basically when you go under the tutelage of a guru, and you learn so many things. So the guru teaches you 64 of the arts. It's funny, it's called arts. And Krishna, even showed that they did it, right? But you learn all these things, and you learn how to serve the spiritual master, and he imparts into you spiritual wisdom. It's not that you just go there to learn how to, do material things. That's there. And even some interesting, fun things, like magic tricks and whatnot. But but you go there, and you learn how to be a spiritual person, how to live in the material world in a spiritual way, and that comes through enlightenment that you're given by your spiritual master. And it's funny because ultimately the enlightenment that the spiritual master gives to you comes from Krishna. And then here we have Krishna and his brother, the Supreme Personality of Godheads, getting in, learning from their spiritual master, but everything, all the knowledge comes from them. So it's just to show the way and to participate in Leela, their pastimes. So once they finished their schooling, and showed from an external point of view that they graduated, it's time to return back to Vraj. The previous verse to that, let's see. Now you should all return. Wait, that's the one we did today. Okay, yeah. Yeah, so basically it's time for them. Well, it's time for the family. Let's see, hold on. In this verse right here, Krishna and Balaram said, "Oh Father, you and your mother Yashoda have affectionately maintained us and cared for us so much. Indeed, parents love their children more than their own lives. Now you should all return the Vraj, dear Father, and we shall come to see you, our dear relatives who suffer in separation from us, as soon as we have given some happiness to your well-wishing friends." So, this is a sneak peek. I mean, throughout this book, we get an idea of the mood of the residents of Vraj. The residents of Vraj are very special. they have the highest levels of devotion for Krishna. They think of nothing else but Krishna at all times, and they're always longing for Krishna to be with them personally. Because when Krishna was a boy, even when he'd go out to play, Mother Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj would miss him, and they would long, and they couldn't wait for him to come home. And all the residents wanted to see Krishna and think about him and sing about him all day. And the interesting thing is that they did not know he was the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They didn't know that Krishna was the creator, maintainer, and destroyer of all the material worlds and the creator of spiritual worlds. They had no idea. They had no idea he was that supreme being, which in so many cultures worship him with awe and reverence. That's generally what we see in this world, especially in the Abrahamic religions, which many of us have, at least in America and the Western world, we grew up with that, very like a bit of awe and reverence, right? So, but they don't have that at all. They literally don't. They see Krishna as their friend, as their boyfriend, as their lover, as their son. They don't see Krishna as the supreme person, which gets all the awe and reverence that we generally would think of when we think of the supreme person, who's so powerful than anything we can imagine, that the snap of a finger, everything could be destroyed. We could be burned to ashes. But that supreme person steals milk and butter from his neighbors, and they love to hear about it. They love to actually engage in these pastimes with him, and he even is like a naughty boy, and it's all for his pleasure, actually, and the pleasure of his devotees. So these residents of Braj are very special. They always think about Krishna. They miss him so much when he's not there. They almost die. They literally almost die. In this world, we don't even have, like, I think a mother and their child is the closest thing to this relationship, that they feel so much love for Krishna that they want to be with him all the time. And when he's gone, which is funny enough, he's gone most of the time in their lives. He's only really there until he's practically a teenager, and then he's gone, and they see him, I believe, one time for the rest of their lives. But every moment they're with him because they're thinking of him in separation. And that's the mood taught by Lord Chaitanya. When Lord Chaitanya came 500 years ago, he taught that the highest form of service and love is that in separation from the Lord. And so Lord Chaitanya exhibited what this is like, still as a human, quite like Krishna. Lord Chaitanya also accepted a spiritual master and served a spiritual master, and taught that one should accept a spiritual master and serve and learn from that spiritual master to make spiritual advancement. So he himself shows this. Every time practically Krishna comes, he shows the way. And but Lord Chaitanya specifically taught this mood of loving devotional service. And we do this by, of course, the mood is the main thing, but we chant Hare Krishna. We chant the Maha Mantra, and we chant it with each other, and we perform in service. We perform service whichever way that's currently given to us. It may be, I spent many years living as a brahmachari monk, and I distributed books like this every day. And so that was my service for many years. And I was a president of a center in Florida. And then I was, then took some years transitioning into my profession as a real estate agent and investor. Realized actually from all that training as a brahmachari that I could be Krishna conscious no matter what I do. And currently now it's like I work all day, but I make so many wonderful connections, and I've brought so many people to the temple here. I live in Alachua, Florida, and I've been able to talk about Krishna to so many people. So, but anyway, it's like that. The Lord comes and teaches us how to be conscious of Krishna in all the stages of life, and helps us to be, to practice Krishna consciousness. He shows us by his example, taking the spiritual master, chanting the holy names, serving the devotees. And then this love of separation, like we hear here in the purport, this is such an amazing line right here, by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Just as a man places his valuable gold within fire to reveal its purity, the Lord placed his most beloved devotees, the residents of Vrindavan, in the fire of separation from him in order to manifest their supreme love. So, yeah, he's showing this, like, this mood of separation is unparalleled. The residents of Vrindavan. He's showing here how pure and wonderful they are. They literally have pure love for Krishna, which is what we aspire for as spiritualists. We want pure love for Krishna. We realize pure love for Maya is not working out. And we've been trying for a long time, innumerable lifetimes. It's not working out. It behooves us to develop that pure love of Krishna, which will make us ultimately happy, will make Krishna happy, and we can fulfill the purpose of our life. So the residents of Vrindavan are there. They show also the way of their by their relationship with Krishna, that we can also develop this. This is actually our dormant propensity, is to love and serve Krishna and to be like the residents of Vrindavan. And that's in another book called Upadeshamrita, and also known as the Nectar of Instruction, which you can buy online or purchase or have someone send you one. And that book is it's a very short book, but it's the main instructions of how to develop love of Krishna and achieve perfection in life. And one of the verses and purports talk about following in the footsteps of the residents of Vraj. And this is a very high level, but eventually we develop this attraction for serving Krishna in that way, in the mood of Vraj. And if one is so fortunate to be able to go to Vraj in this lifetime, to go to Vrindavan, one can start to feel this mood, because it was only 5,000 years ago Krishna was there. Not a very long time in the grand scheme of things. This yuga is over 400,000 years long, and the other yugas are much longer. And we are just 5,000 years, a little over 5,000 years into it. And it was a blip in time between now and when Krishna was here. So Krishna's presence, even in materially manifested ways, is still there in Vraj, where you can feel Krishna's presence through the land of Vraj, and also through his devotees, and visiting the temples and seeing some other mic on. Anyway, you get a chance to go there, I highly recommend it. I believe Bhakti Center is going there this year, so check on the website, and you can go to Vraj too and see and hear of these places that Krishna personally walked. One time when I was there in Vraj, several times. I've been 8 times in this life. I went on a parikrama, and it was very far away. I think it was in Kamyavan, which is quite far from Krishna Balaram Mandir in Vrindavan. And we climbed this mountain, and I'm with a couple swamis and a bunch of pilgrims, and we go to the top of this mountain, and there's this little temple, and there's a footprint of Krishna there. And there's no lines, there's no opulent temple. It's a footprint melted in the mountain. You could actually put, at least at the time, a few years ago, you could put your head in the footprint. And so that's what I did when I went there. I put my head in the footprint of Krishna. And if you think about it, it's so approachable there. God's footprint. You can put your head in God's footprint, and you can't even, play a guitar that some famous musician has played that's in the rock and roll, hard rock cafe or whatever on the wall. You can't even play one of those, or you can't, go into Jesus's tomb. At least I don't think you can. And you can't do so many things of famous people, even spiritual personalities. But the Supreme Personality of Godhead has a footprint on a hill in Vrindavan or Vraj, and you can put your head inside that footprint. So if you get a chance to go to Vraj, take that. You can spend all your money that you own, that you have, even if you don't have much, and go to Vraj, and you'll get the greatest wealth of being able to put your head in the footprint of Krishna. Okay, so 7:44. I'm going to open it up for discussion, sharing of the minds, and loving exchanges. Wondering if there's anybody out there has anything.
Thank you, Brajananda. Wonderful class. I don't think you did the right verses though, but it's okay. It's Bhagavatam.
Oh, really?
It's like Srila Prabhupada describes this as a sweet fruit from any side you bite into it. It's nectarian.
Really?
Thank you very much.
I thought today's 25th, and it says 10:48. Oh, I read the wrong chapter. Dang it.
Yeah, 10:48, 23, 25.
All right.
Yeah, but that's fine. That's okay. That's okay. That's fine. He was nectarian. Thank you, Prabhu.
I'm losing my mind. It's funny. I was looking at what she sent me, and I thought it said chapter 45, but now I'm reading it, and it's 48. I mixed up some things.
No, that's all right. You brought us back a little bit. It was very sweet.
Oh, man. Should I read those verses real quick?
If you like, yeah. And dear audience, Jeffrey Eckler says, it's auspicious to glorify the spiritual master. Yes. And Damodar Priya is asking you, Bhajana Prabhu, there's a request for you to share how you came to Bhakti. Have you come to Bhakti? Are you still coming? What's happening?
Come to Bhakti. Well,
yeah, to Prema Bhakti. Yeah.
Stumbled upon Bhakti. I was actually it's a long story, but I first came to Bhakti. I got a book at a concert when I was 19, and I just started to get into like metaphysics, and I got a Bhagavad Gita at a concert, and I kept it and didn't read it. And then some years later, I got another book at a concert, music festival, and I think I gave it away. And then when I went through a period in life when a lot of things were, I mean, I think in like 1 or 2 weeks, I lost like my car, my girlfriend, my job, place to live. I was, yeah, I was like a free, wandering, free spirit. And I ended up in Tallahassee, Florida, and I met some devotees there and had started doing yoga. And then I went to New. I decided I wanted to like make a drastic change in life. So I just like went to New Vrindavan. I like didn't know much about it. I just had some friends that grew up there who were going to the university and some people who had lived there at some point. And they were like, "Oh yeah, you'll love it." Because I was a very like I liked outdoors. I liked the idea of sustainability. So they said, "Oh, this will be the place." Oddly enough, when I went there, there wasn't really so much sustainability going on. But but I still was on the farm and it was cool and it was a great experience. And I met some wonderful souls there, like Varshana Swami. He was like the first Swami I ever met. And we spent a lot of time together. He's a wonderful stoic, deep personality. And and then I moved to Gainesville, and that's kind of when I got a little more serious. I moved there to be with more like younger people, I guess you could say. I was 23, I think, at the time. So I was like the youngest person in New Vrindavan at one time, I felt like. So I was like, okay, I need to be around some people who are like on the same, in the same boat as me. So I moved there and that's when I like got more serious and then I like went traveling. I got like really serious and I decided I wanted to like just live in a van and travel around the distribute books. So I did that for 7 years until I turned 30. And then yeah, and then here I am 5 years later after 30. So, but yeah, I'm still coming to Bhakti. It's a long path of learning. Thanks for asking.
Did you hear that, devotees? If you want to get serious in bhakti, you should live in the van. That's what it's all
Yeah.
about.
Yeah, you'll live with I remember I used to do these concert tours, Vans Warped Tour, and there would be 7 people living in a Sprinter van. And materially speaking, it's horrible. There's no space. You have to share your one shelf, and there's no comfort. And you don't sleep, and you just distribute tons of books and meet tons of people and it's awesome. That drives you, but I feel like you're just running on spiritual energy and maybe adrenaline if you're not totally spiritual like myself. And yeah, it's like 2 months of that every summer. I did that for 6 years, and then the rest of the year is colleges and other concerts. But yeah, it was fun. I distributed over 100,000 books during that time. So it was
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
it was pretty serious. Yeah, I was pretty into it. I even had my own party. So yeah. Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
So
Brajananda
but I
Prabhu.
look so young.
What a,
Yeah,
what a
I'm 35,
glorious,
believe it or not.
what's that? 35?
Yeah, I'm 35. Yeah, I am young.
Yeah. Yeah, Jeffrey Eckler says you are his fellow real estate bhakta. What is
Hmm.
that?
Like Jeffrey and I need to connect.
Jeffrey Eckler, you should
Anyone have
hire
any
Brajananda Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you for reading the wrong verses today. It was enlightening. I appreciated that very
I feel a
much.
little embarrassed.
No,
I feel
you
a little
shouldn't,
embarrassed. I
because
think I've had too much going on.
sometimes the direction comes from outside of us. But that was perfect, and yeah, I appreciate the honesty, and that was very nice to happen that way. So don't feel
Hmm.
embarrassed. You did a great job.
Thank you. Where do you practice real estate?
My company is based in Jericho, New York. I work for a real estate investment trust.
Oh, great. Well, let's connect. Let's connect at some point. That'd be
Absolutely.
great. You want to put your information in the
I'll
you
put
know,
it in
whether
the
it's
chat.
yeah, that'd be great. I'm definitely into investing too.
Yeah, Jeff Reckler is an real estate tycoon. Has good connections.
Yeah, that's what I want to do. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, real estate is really great because you can own properties and get passive income, and then you can go to Vrindavan and still make your livelihood and not have to worry.
That sounds like Maya's final trap, passive income, Vrindavan. Yeah.
Oh no, all my kids are gonna get my investments. I can't take them with me.
Okay, any
Okay,
questions?
what about the verses? Anyone have any comments or question about these verses here? What about the residents of Vrindavan? What do we think about them? How can we relate with them? They're relatable, but they're also unrelatable. Anyone have any thoughts about that?
I have a question about that. Our philosophy is all about connecting with Krishna and getting closer, but then you run into this sentiment of being separated from Krishna. How does that work? How do we, as practicing bhaktas, connect with this uh, elevated idea of increasing the love by separating from the beloved, by being separated from the beloved? How does that work? How is that relatable for us as bhaktas who are trying to connect desperately?
Yeah. How is that relatable? Well, I think it's the most relatable in a material sense as like a lover and a beloved being separated and wanting to be with each other. In this world, that's very close to it. And I actually I feel like actually being married has helped me realize that more. Just that rasa has helped me realize that. And of course, I understand it's not the same, but it's similar. I think that has helped me develop that, but also other devotees that we really love and appreciate too when we want to be around them. Or maybe it's even a place like Vrindavan, you feel that separation. I think it starts there, but then it evolves into actually you like really feeling like you want to be with Krishna. There's some very advanced devotees that I've met who really feel that, and that's why they talk about Krishna all the time. And that's in the Bhagavad Gita, that the highest, the most realized souls discuss Krishna all the time, and they are enlivened by discussing Krishna with one another. So, so that's where we want to go. We want to be able to, it's just like, it's funny, we have like real estate conventions and things like that, and you go to them and you just talk real estate, and it's like enlivening on that level, but really it's all about coming together with other spiritualists and discussing Krishna. In my area we have like a small men's group, and that's like actually my dearest connections with the Lord and his devotees, is just like getting together with other people my age who are in similar place in life, and just talking about how it's not the same as when we used to live in the ashram, and and how to incorporate that into our lives where we're all working and we're all, you know, we have, you know, whatever similar or different situations in life that are beneficial for us, for our spiritual path, are not beneficial and we want to change it. You know, we get to share and we, you know, chant and read together. And I just think that's just so wonderful and helps us develop. So I really feel like that's important in everybody's life, just like this class, you know, coming together and talk about Krishna. So I feel like once you come together with others and talk about Krishna, then you start to like really want to be closer to Krishna, and you really want to, like, you know, chant better japa and more heartfelt kirtans. So anyway, that's kind of my thought. So okay, Narottam Nitai Das says, it seems to me that as non-Brajvasis, not yet, seem to be entangled in using Jnanamarg to facilitate our bhakti. However, the real meaning is to always think of Krishna like the Brajavasis. It's better to distribute Prabhupada's books. I don't know how to receive mercy, and I hope to learn it soon. Well, by distributing, we also receive. I think that's the trick. Something I've learned from my mentors and guides, especially Vaisheshika Prabhu. I spent a lot of time with him over the years, and he's all about distributing that mercy, and in return we get it. And I feel like there's something very special about distributing the books. I've done a lot of things. I've distributed hundreds, thousands of books. I've been a temple president. I've done other things, managed university outreach programs. I used to manage Krishna lunch and distribute tons of prasadam. We did like 1,500 plates one day in 3 hours, not even, you know, like I've done a lot of things, like, but there's nothing. And also helped sell houses that people turn into temples, which is pretty cool. But there's something special about giving someone one of Prabhupada's books. It's just, you can't replace that feeling and that connection with Krishna. You just go out there and distribute books and connect with people, and by connecting you get that mercy. I mean, I remember the one day I distributed the most books. It was at a concert and I broke 200. I forgot, it was like big books. I was only doing big books, so that was like my big day. And I've had, you know, other friends do way more, but that was my thing. And afterwards I like was vibrating, like it was amazing just to be empowered to distribute that many books. And that's people giving donations, and, you know, it's not like I was just like handing people books. You know, there was a transaction for 200 books in a, you know, a period of time, 10 hours maybe. And and after that, you know, we're on this tour and it's like really tiring, but I didn't care. I was like, I'll drive. We gotta go to the next city because we had to drive. That on top of distributing tons of books all day, we had to drive to the next city like halfway in the night because the concert starts at like 8 a.m. So you know, usually we're all wiped out and we're kind of like, okay, you drive 30 minutes, I'll drive 30 minutes. You know, we're just like passed out in the back trying to finish our rounds, or, you know, eat something or sleep or whatever, right? So trying to maintain our sanity and then still drive. It's not like we had our own driver. And and you know, that night I just didn't care. I had so much spiritual energy. I just drove and made it to the rest area. I could barely sleep. I couldn't believe what happened. And I felt so empowered and charged up, and I felt that mercy and love. And yeah, that was really special. There was a few other days I got close to that, so but that was special. Hare Krishna? Nope.
He's calling.
It's
I don't know if
Russian time, I think. They're below the
okay,
coffee.
gotcha.
Thank you,
Thank you
Brajananda.
all. Very grateful. Hopefully you'll have me back. I have to admit I was a little sleepy today, but thanks for tuning in. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Wonderful class.
wonderful day. Hadi.
Anyani yasya sakalen priyavriti mamsti asyan an kalyanti. Hare Krishna. You okay? Timaya sadhu pala.
Okay, it looks like Vasudev Prabhu is back. He's done writing his book. I guess it was a smaller book. He's done. Yeah, Vasudev Prabhu is very advanced. He can be very cryptic. 2-3 lines. They're elevated. Brajananda Prabhu, we have a question.
Yeah, Gautam Ghosh Prabhu has a question in the chat.
Oh. This is the bonus round, okay?
Yeah.
Do you believe every problem of your life solved by Lord Krishna? I believe that if you chant Hare Krishna truly and consistently, your problems will automatically be solved. But Krishna leaves it up to us to also solve those problems, but he can empower us to do it.
Yeah, Krishna is arranging our problems as devotees. Krishna is behind our so-called problems, Gautam Ghosh. So see Krishna behind everything. That's the process. Brajananda Prabhu, thank you for the extra round, bonus round. Wonderful class. Thank you. We hope you can give class regularly here. And thanks everyone.
It'll help me become more Krishna conscious. The next time I'll read the right verse.
Okay, yeah.
I'm surprised you didn't stop me like before I actually gave the whole class, but
yeah, we didn't want to discourage you.
Oh, don't worry, I wouldn't have been. I've made plenty of mistakes.
Okay.
Like
Okay, we'll stop you next time.
that.
Okay, Hare Krishna, everybody. Nice seeing you. Karen, where are you? Is that Paris or something?
Hi. No, I'm in Zurich.
Zurich.
Yeah,
cool.
in Switzerland. And actually, we're
Switzerland.
taking a tram right now to pick up a car, and we're going to drive to Belgium and go to Bangladesh Mellows. So that's what I'm
Nice,
doing now.
nice.
Literally, as soon as Annabelle gets out of school, we're going to pick her up and dash.
Wonderful, wonderful. See, Switzerland is the
Yeah.
place to be. That's where everybody has passive income so that they can attend festivals and kirtan events. That's how it's done, dear devotees. Yeah. Thank you, Karen. Thank you.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Okay, nice seeing everybody. Michelle, driving safely. Yeah. Damdar Priya, Jeffrey Eckler, the tycoon, Gautam Ghosh. Everybody on this call, we love you. We need you on a daily basis. There's nothing like sharing bhakti with others. There's nothing like glorifying Krishna together. Let's be separated from Krishna together, right? That's the philosophy. All right. Love you. Hare Krishna. See you again